is a section on how to untrain the subconscious mind. A lot of people have their idea of what it is that they are going to do or the idea of what it is that they can't do already before it even happens. What do I mean by that? If I tell you that I'm about to give you $10,000, you might need the $10,000, but somewhere in your mind, you've already written off the fact that she ain't got $10,000 or she ain't gonna give me $10,000 or whatever the case may be. If someone says they're going to give you $10,000, you should want them to give you the $10,000. The way that you want them to give you the $10,000, you in your mind should say that you deserve the $10,000. That is how you train your subconscious mind. Because what your subconscious mind will do is walk you away from that $10,000 before you even know it. And the person is standing there with the $10,000 trying to figure out why in the world did this just not happen the way that it should have. And it all is because of our subconscious minds. So people might not want to tell the truth about letting their subconscious mind actually get the best of them, but that is exactly how it is. So because of the fact that we have limited liability, like we have a limited liability of the fact that you only do what you want to do, when you want to do it, how you want to do it, the way you want to do it, and that's important. So when you realize that that is why you're doing what you're doing, it makes it a little bit easier for us to come on in and do this. So as we begin, if you are going to take some notes, I'd say you can take notes or you can save this however you want to do it, break it down and split it up. There are a few things that we are going to work on within training our or retraining our subconscious mind. There's a couple of different ways, so I'm going to break it up into at least probably 3 classes. It depends on the discussion. It depends on what happens afterwards. Okay? Because a lot of them are self-explanatory, but then some we're going to actually want to get into so we can actually talk about what it is that we're wanting to talk about. So the first thing you have to do is figure out what it is that you want. And for some, that's very, very hard because I know for myself for a long time, I didn't want to do anything but live. I had been sick. I had money. I enjoyed that. But then I had gotten sick and then I had money, but it didn't matter because my money didn't help me not be sick. So I realized that my money didn't do what I needed it to do at that moment. So I had to embrace the fact that I had money, but I was still sick. I couldn't pay anybody to help take that sick away. So money became something else to me. Money just became the vehicle in which we did things. And then as my MS increased, I didn't have to do things. So then my life became just waking up, getting out to maybe go outside and see the neighbors, feel the sun, for a long time. So when it comes down to what did I want, I really didn't know what I wanted because I just really, really just needed something to do, So unfortunately, I've learned now that if you really don't know what you want to do, what's going to happen is people that do know what the people that do know what they want will then become your people that tell you what to do because you really don't know how to do or don't know what to do. So the best thing is to kind of formulate in your mind to start to say, okay, I might not know what I want, but I want to work on this towards this or whatever. I know what I don't want. Some people can start off with what they don't want. Even if you know what you don't want, then that says at least you got that part. So when you see it, you know to walk the hell away from it if you need to, right? So the first step is what do you want? And you have to be specific. You can't just be real broad. Like, I used to always say, I want to change the world. But I do. But the question is, how do you really want to change the world? Because if you really want to change the world, you are going to have to be specific and not, I want to change the world. But what part of the world do you want to change first? Who are the people? What do they look like? What are their, what is the demographic of these people that you're looking for? So you have to really want to become cognizant of exactly who you're trying to attract because you know what you want, you know why you want it, and you know who you want to give it to. So then once you know exactly what it is that you want, we put it in the WANT. So if you want, right, WANT, And these will be the things that you want. Now, W is worth. 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 Is the work involved that you're attaining even worth it? Like, is it worth it for you? Is it worth it for someone else? Like, who's going to benefit from it? Is it worth you trying to put forth the effort? Is it worth you about to go and like literally lay your life out so that this can get done? Is it worth it? Because if it is, then you understand that no matter what comes your way, you want to keep pushing. So then it goes straight to A, which is the activated aggression. Now, a lot of people say that aggression is not good, but I'm telling you, activated aggression is the best thing that you need, because you need to be able to pinpoint exactly what it is, and you are working towards a specific goal. And because of the fact that you know exactly what that goal is, the aggression needs to be there. That way you make sure you hit your mark every day. You actually will hit beyond your mark if you go in there. If you go in activated and aggressive, there's no other way for you to do it but to chop it, monster it, plow it down, move it out the way. That way your mind is not telling you things that can't be done, because now you're seeing it. Your aggression, your activated aggression has pushed through the fact that you can't even do it. In your mind can't say that you can't do it anymore when you're activated with aggression, because it's pushing you through to go to the next thing. The next thing is N, which is necessity. Is this thing even necessary? Does anybody need it? Who needs it? Is it for you? Is it for you to prove to somebody else that thought that you wasn't ever going to make it? That I would hope not, because you do understand that that is not a negative. That is not a good foundation to build anything off of, because it starts in a negative. You do know that. Anybody that has a situation and you're in here trying to be better right now, and you're still trying to be better to prove it to whoever it was that doubted you, or whoever it was that told you that you wasn't going to do this, or you're only wanting to be on top so that they can see you, to see that they made it, that you made it and all that. No. I have to tell you honest. Don't even, when you have thoughts like that, you want to throw them away. The reason why you want to throw them away is because it's not about you. It's not about you. God will do more. God can do more with them without you than he can with you, and you trying to finagle with something to make yourself look better than them. So, what I want to tell you on that note is, if it is necessity, if it's something that you want, something that you need, something that the world needs, then you need to be doing exactly what it is. So, if it's worth it, then you know it's worth it. If you have an aggravated aggression to it, that means no one's going to stop you from doing what it is that you've been called to do. And then N, if it's a necessity, you know you need it, you know they need it, you know someone in the world needs it, and God needs you to do it right now. That's a necessity. And then we go to T. Teachable. Ask the question, are you teachable? Because guess what? Whatever it is that you think that you want to know, you're going to have to be taught to get to the next level. So then you really have to ask yourself, are you a good student? Because most teachers have to be really good students, because you have to learn something, and then you appreciate the learnedness of a student, and you appreciate the lesson of the teacher. If you be able to take both of them and put them all together, you have lesson 1, what do you want, on how to training your subconscious mind. Once you put it all together, you know it's worth it, because you wouldn't even be wanting to do it. If you're not willing to die for it, then it's not worth it. So then activated aggression, same way. If you're not willing to die for it, that means you don't want to be activatedly aggressive about it. You might just be like, I'll get up to it when I feel like it. I guess I will. No, you need to be activated and aggressive. You need to know that this is what you want to do. You need to know that you want to do it. You want to do it. You want to do it. I wanted to write a book. I knew I wanted to write a book. Not only did I know I wanted to write a book, but now I want to go out and tell the people about the book. I want to go and speak to the people about the book. Why? Because it is a necessity. It is necessary for you to understand that your thoughts are your thoughts. My thoughts are my thoughts. But when we put them together, they are our thoughts. And then we together will be able to do some major changes in this world. But until we figure out that, one, we have to get it in here first. So we have to learn how to retrain the subconscious mind. It's one of the scariest things that I have ever had to come in contact with. But What I will say to you is that if you make a list and write down exactly what it is that you want. Now, for some people, you might have to start this list with 10 and then break it down to five. Like, take your 10 most important, and then take your five and say, okay, these are the five that are more important. And we're going to take the more importance and do them first. So, what I need for you to do is I want you to write it down so that when we do get back together, the first thing we will do is just discuss what you might have written down from your first lesson. I want to say have fun with it because what we're about to do is we're setting up a future. We're setting up a future of financial freedom that a lot of people have or think that they have because they have money. But then the question is, are you free? So I'm learning. The blessing of it is I've actually affiliated myself with a mentor, and he has made a vow that he wants to make millionaires. So he understands exactly what it is that he wants to do, and he has now allowed definitely me to see another side of me that says that the conversations that I have in my head, the conversations that God and I are talking about, and we're trying to figure out what to do with the world and how I'm supposed to just go and play my part in things. Antonio has allowed me to see that no, what God is saying is that my child, I need you to do it. I need you to do it. Nobody's going to say this like you, so therefore you do it. So I'm not really sure who it's for. I'm not really sure why I'm doing exactly what I'm doing the way that I'm doing it. Because trust me, I've been trying to make it nice. I've been trying to jazz it up. I'm trying to make it right and trying to do everything else. Any and everything in my power to make things happen the right way. All it's doing now is backfiring all through it. So therefore, it must be a reason that it's backfiring. And I guess it's so that I can tell the truth about the fact that I don't like to mess up. I don't. I don't want people to see me and see that I messed up. That's like the worst thing that you could ever do to a person that's trying to be right. Damn, don't find my wrong. But I'm embracing it. The reason why I'm embracing it is because there is not one thing that's right about any of us. And that's the blessing. The only thing that makes us right is the blood of Jesus. And that's what we all need to focus on. So if we can represent our raggedy real well, then that means that the blood means that much more to us in the process. So like I said, if you have not already gotten your book, you still have time. Go get it. It's on Amazon. I'll make sure I put it in the link so that if you have not seen it already, go grab it. It's going to be fun. We needed to make it fun. Why? Because one, we've already survived these tough times. Now it's just a matter of understanding it, putting it into work, putting it into practice, and then becoming the examples that we need our children to see. Simple. Now, I know there's somebody out there that doesn't want to be involved. Guess what? And if you don't want to be involved, we still need you to be involved. Get over wherever that is in your mind that is telling you that you're by yourself or you want to be alone and all that other kind of stuff. Because those are all the tricks of the enemy. Because nobody is supposed to be alone. You can't do it by yourself. The whole point of it is you can't do it by yourself. It says, together we stand, divided we fall. As long as we continue to listen to the conversations that people are having, we will always become divided. We will always stay divided on one way or the other, whether it's one side to the other side. Someone is always going to find a divide. That's why in surviving of tough times, there is no divide. You are the divide. That's why it gives you a thought process. Every day, there's a place in there where you can write your thoughts. When you write your thoughts down about that day, that is going to be what's going to help us through this march to get to the right place where we need to be so that we can see that this is like a beautiful thing. This is a beautiful thing. We're waiting for stuff. We're waiting for stuff to happen that might not happen. So we might have to make things happen. You do know that that's sometimes how things get done. You can sit around and you can wait for things to happen, and you can wait for things to happen. Because I sure was waiting for things to happen. I just knew someone was going to put Jesus on their back, and they were just going to rock out, and they were going to do this, and they were going to save the world. Never, ever, 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 ever did I think that it was going to be me. But it's a big, 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 big responsibility. And I'm honored, pleased, and thrilled that I was chosen, and I'm glad that you are with me. So If you are just meeting me for the first time, make sure you go and you like me on Instagram. I'm a dot misunderstandings on Instagram. But then YouTube, I'm Misunderstandings Adrian. Facebook, Misunderstandings Adrian. We have a Facebook community page called God Goons. And we also have one called Surviving Tough Times. On your march, get set, go. In that group, we are actually reading, and we're going to be doing some good things in there. You know, just group building, group mindset, perspective changes, and all that kind of stuff, so that we can actually get to a common. That way, we can actually start to work on some stuff. I believe that it's an easy fix. I believe it's an easy fix. The difference is we just have to rally. We have to really be able to want to do it. I believe that it's going to be fun. I don't meet anyone that has a bad day all day. And if you are, please make sure you hit an archive up or something. Listen to something. Go check like one of my 1 and 2 minute videos out there. Just like, get it away from you. You don't need that shit today. You know, like sometimes you just need a breakthrough. Yeah. And and I was wondering, what do you think about understanding sessions with me? I think I'm pretty understanding. And if not understanding, I'm at least going to want you to talk so that you can be understood. And then we can get to a common and a resolve for it. I'm just putting it out there because I know that that's what a lot of people use me for. So I didn't want to be remiss and say that I can't not offer these things to you. So the people that know me personally, they already take advantage of that. So if you are new and you would like to have a conversation, you just want to talk, you want to bust it up, I'm your girl. Bust it up with me. And guess what? You still gonna see God in it. That's the greatness. Oh, and the last thing, I'm not gonna talk about it much, but I'm gonna talk about it later on in the week. Sometimes there's no such thing as walking away and not showing back up. Sometimes you have to come back. You must go back. The story is not actually completed until you go back. I'll leave it like that. If you did not get a chance to read and catch up, I think we're only on day one. So trust me when I tell you, when you get your book, come on in, jump in. I'm going to do one. I started on the first, but I'm not sure if we're going to do Sundays, so it's kind of weird. So you make sure that you stay on yours. Write your thoughts down, and like I said, when we get together and we're sitting in the class, then that's when your thoughts really will count. Right now, this is just your journey. Enjoy it. Enjoy it. Embrace it. Enjoy it. If you gotta cuss at somebody, cuss at me, but also be writing it down, because trust me, once you get finished cussing and you get all the way to day 30, you'll be fine. Trust me when I tell you. Enjoy the rest of your day. Talk to you later.